We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and I've got a very special unboxing, showcasing video. It's not really unboxing, it's already been unboxed as you can see. This is the Edge. This is a board game by Awaken Realms, and I'm super excited for it because Rob and I have already played it a couple times, and it was fun, wasn't it?
It's phenomenal. I loved it.
No spoilers, because they haven't seen the battle report yet. The battle report will come out on the day the Kickstarter for this starts, which is this coming Monday, October 24th. I think, according to Awaken Realms, they're planning on launching it around noon Eastern time. So, but with all Kickstarters, you never know. They might, who knows, it could be a little late, it could be a little early. But look out for it. I'm going to put a link in the video description. Well, you can continue this video, but at any point, if you want to go check out the Kickstarter page, you can follow it so you can be updated on it as well. There will be a link in the description below. So what is the Edge? Well, Awaken Realms has been working on some miniatures for quite a while. They sent me pictures of some of the stuff a long time ago. I think they were originally planning on doing a miniature war game, but then they decided to shift gears and do a board game. Now, this kind of falls into that category of a crossover between board games and miniature war games. It's like board games, it's definitely not complicated, and so it can definitely fall into the realm of board game, but the fact that it uses very highly detailed and finely casted miniatures that, these are painted, by the way, they don't come painted, they come just unpainted, obviously, is the opposite of painted. And you can paint them if you like, or you can just play with them unpainted like a lot of board games, just use kind of tokens. But these models are just begging to be painted. So what you're seeing here is one of the factions called the Chapter faction. I'll go over that in just a second. Now, I also have to put out a caveat before we go any further. This is a prototype. So everything you see here, there should be better versions of a lot of it. I can't tell you everything that's going to be a better version because there's a lot of details I don't know. I know, for example, that this mat, there should be a new mat because it actually says prototype on it, so obviously it can't have this mat. The miniatures here are resin. They're actually going to be cast in plastic. These are just some of the prototype miniatures that they got up and painted up to send over to us for previewing. And the components, I'll go through the components that it actually has. But the Edge board game, essentially, it's a 2-player game where you pit 2 factions against each other. It's an alternate activation system where you choose 5 squads. Some squads have more than one, like these pilgrims have 4 guys. And then we have ones that are stronger, like the Holy Knights. They're individual. This is an extra guy, so I could choose to have 3 Holy Knights, but I have to choose just 5. I got these snipers, these crossbowmen, and then the Angel of Death, this huge mechanized beast. And then we deploy pretty much anywhere on the board. They have this cool system of hexes. We got a large hex and small hex, where the large hexes are how you move around, but the small hexes are where you guys actually go. And so some of the guys take up more than 1 hex. And then you have like the big ones obviously taking up the entire full hex. They can't cross over. Full rules we'll talk about, or at least the playthrough of it will be on the same day the Kickstarter comes out, so you can stay tuned for that. And the goal is to collect crystals and to gain victory points by killing your opponent. You use crystals to activate abilities. You get to draw cards for your guys, which gives them extra reactions, which can be really annoying.
Yeah, I can...
Like Holy Knights healing themselves, which you hated. Or you putting Crystal Aegis on guys, which makes it so I can't hurt them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And on the other side, we have the Demon faction, this huge guy. Look at him. He just looks so awesome. This is the son of Kyber. We've got a Master of Elements, very weak in close combat, but as you can probably guess, being a mage can do some tremendously awesome fire and ice magic. We've got, these are terror cultists. They can mind control guys and move them around. We've got some hounds. When they activate their ability, they become super strong and super scary and hard to assault. But and they are really, really fast as well. So essentially what you do is you go back and forth, you deploy your 5 squads on the table, and then you alternately activate models, and they can move and attack. And there's this simple system of attack and defense. You roll a d6, you add your attack, your opponent rolls a d6 as their defense, and you have to beat the defense, not just equal it, and that causes 1 wound. Some abilities will give you rerolls. Sometimes when you flip over these cards, like they have these shifting things, which really adds a cool element to it. That when you activate it, you can spend mana to flip the card over, which gives it new abilities. It sometimes changes the whole guy, how the whole guy works. Like the snipers can switch into an aiming mode where they can't move, but they gain additional range and additional damage to their crossbows. Or the Master of Elements all of a sudden going from just firing a single shot to firing a fireball that explodes an entire hex and an adjacent hex, hitting everything inside of those hexes, giving them really good crowd control. to things like the Terror Cultist being able to try to mind control, to the Hounds actually being able to do much more attacks, to the Angel of Death going into a flight mode, etc., etc. So it also included in this is a book of, there's some stories here. So there's actually a lot of fluff behind this. It's not like I think they started developing the story and the lore behind this before this game was even initiated. Because like I said, I think they were planning on doing a miniature war game. So they have a lot of background. And it also has this really cool kind of graphic novel that it comes with, which is really neat. And it features one of the Holy Knights doing all his cool abilities. This is kind of a post-apocalyptic, steampunked fantasy genre. So it mixes a bunch of different genres together and has its own really interesting look to it.
So with the factions, here you see 2 factions, but they're actually going to be 6 factions. There are 3 starter boxes. Chapters versus demons. You have and also another faction is like the Faceless versus Reborn. And they have another faction too as well on top of that. So with all the factions and that, it gives you multiple factions, and I'm assuming that you're going to be able to use different factions against each other, even though that there are 3 different starter boxes. You're going to be able to play against like demons against another faction like the Reborn or so forth.
I'm looking forward to the Faceless because they look like kind of a mix between like a demon or almost an alien Tyranid kind of thing. It has a lot of those kind of elements to it, so they look really neat. And it has 6 different ones. It gives you a lot of variety in how you can actually do your gameplay.
The contents of the box, it'll contain 2 factions and gameplay elements. So this one here, you see that's the chapter. And also it has the other faction in this box set, which is the demons. Now, on top of that, what you're going to get is 120 card spells, and that's 60 per faction. So each faction has different spells that they can use. They also have 12 squad cards.
That's these right here.
Yes. And they have 6 per faction. And also too as well, they have hit point tokens.
That's
too
these?
As well. Yep. So whenever you take damage, that you're going to be able to take that away, keep track. And also they have a victory point marker too as well.
Now, it's not going to be this one, where this one was just 2 yellow cubes glued together. They sent me. I actually tried to break it apart. I'm like, why is this glued together? And he's like, no, don't break it. That's the victory point token. So there's going to be a different one. Like I said, prototype. So this slides back. It's like a tug of war. If I score a couple points and then he scores a couple points, we're back to 0. And it's the first person to get up to a certain amount, depending on the scenario that you're playing.
Yeah, they're also going to have 2 faction tokens too as well. I don't think we have it seen on here, if I'm not mistaken. There.
No, I don't think we have faction tokens.
Yeah, 4 big hex train tokens, 2 per faction. So hex train tokens, I'm assuming it's just going to be terrains, because there's some models which they can ignore terrain.
Yeah, there's going to be different things that could actually go on the board. We have a very basic set right now.
And also you're going to have 4 small hex train tokens that, again, it will be shown. The cardboard board. And again, the size of it's good gameplay, Matt. It's this size, and if anybody's wondering, it's 56 by 84 centimeters.
So that is cardboard. So this one is just paper. So you can see all the folding and everything. Cardboard will be much nicer for the details.
And the campaign map.
That's right. I forgot about that. The campaign map is super cool. It kind of plays like if you ever played Total War computer games, where if you want to play an extended campaign, you actually take over territories, and then you fight on this map, the different scenarios, to determine the outcome of those. So it obviously it's not the same as Total War, but same idea where you have a campaign map and then you zoom in and you do your fights as well. So it does have a full campaign system, which is unusual for a board game, because board games are usually just one-off things. And so if you want to do one-off, you can, because trust me, it was fun. But if you want to go even further, you could turn it into more of a big campaign.
Yes, and because of the campaign map, you also have a developmental tree for campaigns, so you can keep track of it all too as well, which would be really good too as well. And storyboard for campaign, or a storybook, I should say, for campaign, which you have too as well. So it's going to have fluff with it.
Yeah, lots and lots of tokens. We also have these crystal tokens, which are really cool. So there's a semi-transparent tokens. Anything else that's on the list?
Yeah, one other thing that's on the list is 2 custom die.
Okay, so maybe it's not going to be just regular D6s, because that's what came in this one. So it might be like Awaken Realm ones or something. All the details will be on the Kickstarter page. They'll be able to show you pictures and the full contents. Obviously, any of the pledges that you do, they're going to have full details right there for it. And so, like I said, there's a draft Kickstarter page in the link below. You can go and actually take a look at what they've had so far. They are looking for feedback. So this is the time to jump in there and give ideas for pledges or things that you'd like to see in the game, because they are still working on the final touches as well. But it was a fantastic game. I can vouch for that. Stay tuned for the battle report this coming Monday, October 24th, when the Kickstarter launches. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.